all the devotees for today's Bhakti Shastri discussion on Nectar of Instruction. So before we start with the second verse, I'd like to ask some devotees to share some points from the previous session. So one devotee maybe can share from Vacho Vegam, Manasa Vegam, Bodha Vegam, one Vega, what was discussed from Prabhupada's purport. And then we'll go to the second verse. Yes, you can raise your hands and then we can allow you to please speak. Okay. So who would like to share? Start with Vacho Vega. Yes, Priya Mansukhani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Vacho Egam talking about Krishna Katha.
Yeah, you can little bit elaborate. That is
Pardon?
final point of Vacho Vegam.
Okay, that's the final point of Vacho Egam. Okay.
Yeah, that is the way to control. Yeah.
Okay, that is the way to go. Okay, right. Vacho Vegam is compared to a croaking of the toad. It attracts the snake when the toad croaks. And talking about Prajalpa, mundane books which do not glorify Lord Krishna. And the fourth one is Mauna Vrata, self-imposed silence.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, my internet was not coming. You said Mataji, I didn't hear. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Vacho Vegam, it's compared to the croaking of a toad, which attracts the snake. Prajalpa, second one is Prajalpa. Third one is mundane books which do not glorify Lord Krishna. And fourth one is Mauna Vrata, self-imposed silence.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So Manasa Vegams, somebody else can share. Okay. Yes, Mataji. So I think Kishore Pro's mother is there. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, for mind, we saw that the mind has innumerable desires, right? And the yogic processes like Shunyavad and Mayavad, thinking about like that should not be the aim, because that will not help us to control our mind. But Krishna consciousness, that is meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna and engaging our senses in the service of the Lord, those are the ways in which we can control our mind.
Yeah, and one verse we had told from Kulasekara Maharaj, he mentions in Mukundmala Stotra. Yeah, Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindayor Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. Yeah, so all the senses should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Yeah, third, Krodha Vegam. Yeah, somebody can share about Krodha Vegam. What would we discussed about that? Okay, yes, Mahadev Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. For the Vegam, Prabhupada is tell that how to control this anger. The Prabhupada mentioning one point here, we should be tolerate the insult with us, whatever the insult would happen with us, we should be tolerate, but we should be ready to express our anger when the situation comes that devotees are getting blasphemy or something like that. If anything happens with other, then we should express the anger. There are the three examples given Prabhupada there. Example of Arjuna, example of Hanuman, and example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have showed their anger to the Jagai and Madai, because Jagai and Madai insulted the Nityananda Prabhuji. Arjuna also expressed anger via fighting against the Kauravas. And Hanuman also expressed their anger to please the Lord Ram. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So that was about Prodha Vegam. Jiva Vegam we discussed next. Yeah. So somebody would like to share what we discussed there? What Prabhupada writes in purport? Yes, Anish Prabhu.
So, Jiva Begum, we consider from the point of view of taste, the sense of enjoyment of taste. So, we see Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes about glories of Mahaprasad. So, Jiva can be controlled by that.
Yeah.
And tongue, belly, and genitals are in the same line. So, if we control the tongue, we can control. It is a start of controlling all three, and we saw that was Jivera Lalsai Ityuttidhai Shishnodar Parana Krishna Nepar. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So one more thing we discussed in that was even taking three types actually was mentioned by Prabhupada also in the purport. One was avoiding eating meat, flesh. Then second level was avoiding intoxicants. And then third level was avoiding extra spices, too much chili, too much sour, too much pungent, too much or of anything is not good. Correct. So these things also were told, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told one very important point that even when one accepts prasad, so the prasad should be duly offered. It should not be offered with intention to enjoy the bhoga and just making Krishna as the offering machine. Okay, that we had discussed, and even prasad, too much eating for taste is not good. As per one's need, not less, not more. That was pointed out. Yeah, and offer and accepting invitations at rich men's house. That was also not good practice as what it was told by Prabhupada. Yeah, and solution also was given by Prabhupada that fasting is one good solution to control the jiva vegam. Yeah, so observing fasting on Ekadashi and Janmashtami like that. Yeah. So this includes both, as Prabhuji covered both Jiva Vegam and Udara Vegam. So then last one we'll go to the Upastha Vegam. Yeah. So there we discussed some points. Yeah. Somebody like to share? Whoever not spoken till now, they can speak. Yes, Mataji, Sangeeta Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Genitals should be used to beget the KC children and not for any other purpose.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So one more thing, Prabhupada was writing in the purport that renunciate should not listen to talk about worldly subjects and should not think of women. Example Prabhupada gave us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has strictly set the example in the case of Chota Haridas. Yeah, yeah. So that was one important point. Yeah, and yeah, as previously, yeah. So the legal and illicit sex that was pointed out by Prabhupada. So legal is marriage according to Shastra, becoming a good grihastha, like that, and then illicit sex is which is that not sanctioned by scriptures. Yeah, either before marriage or outside marriage, like that. Yeah. So and then we discussed about the concluding points. So yeah, somebody can tell about the concluding points what Prabhupada gave in the purport. So 2-3 points were told by Prabhupada as a conclusion to verse 1. Somebody else can share. Yeah, I hope devotees are able to connect what we are discussing in class and making notes. At least point down in your NY book. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's categorization of the 6 points that are told in the first shloka, like the three, he categorized it into 3 parts. First is speech, mind and body.
Ah.
Under speech, vacho pekam comes, and under mind, manaha and krodha comes, and under body, jiva, upastha, and stomach comes. Upastha. Sorry,
Yeah, bodily.
I wrong.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Anything else you want to tell? Okay. Okay. So, Jai Shri Mataji.
I think Prabhupada concludes that one should not accept too much prasadam. Also, and then taking for one's own enjoyment, it is not for our own enjoyment, it is for Krishna's enjoyment, and accept invitation from rich men. And the solution for that, one should not run away to satisfy the tongues. And also, we can fast Ekadashi and festival days also.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. We discussed that. I'm asking about the conclusion part Prabhupada told in NOI. So there were different points he told about Goswami and Godas. Yeah, somebody else can share. Soumya Mataji.
Prabhuji, that analogy of Rath was given by you, that how to control the senses. The senses are like the horses, the mind is like the ring, and the soul is like the passenger, and the intelligence is like the super soul. Is that the thing you wanted?
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, Pratik, bro, you want to speak?
Yes, Prabhuji, as you were asking about the conclusion, so in the conclusion, Prabhupada was saying that one should control these urges and become Goswamis. I mean, one should not become the Swami of like family and some other things. One should become Goswami and should follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis of Vrindavan and engage all these urges in the service of the Lord. And in that way, they can actually instruct the world, and they can, I mean, as the verse says that person can become guru. So in that way, one can present a good example in front of the world.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Pratik. Okay. Yeah. Shariyu Mataji, you want to share something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Goswami means four senses who can control the senses.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for sharing. So, hope devotees will be making notes now also, and next class they can share what we are discussing. Okay. So now today we will go to the second verse. Okay. So yeah, before we go to the second verse, so what we can do is we can recite the Updeshamritam. I have sent the 11 shlokas in one image in the Updeshamritam series, matlab in the WhatsApp group which you have. So if possible, you can have a look. I can share it here. Yeah, I will share it here, and then we can recite together, and then we will start with the second shloka. So that what happens is we can memorize these shlokas by the time we complete Updeshamritam. Okay, so that will be a very good practice.
Shall I share, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you can share. Yeah, you have.
Yes, yes, you had
Yeah.
sent it.
Yes, please share. Yeah. Yes.
Is it visible?
Yeah, this is good. Yeah. I think devotees, yeah, you can zoom also. Those who are on the device, they can zoom themselves. You can also try to zoom if little bit if possible. Yeah, I'm able to see. It's fine. Okay, so we'll recite together. Okay, so you can keep yourself mute, all devotees, and I can recite, and you can follow along. Okay, and as we go ahead, then yourself understand what is the tune for each verse. Okay, so first 4 verses, the tune is Anushtup Chanda. It is the tune is same. Sorry, not first four. The first one is different. Second, third, and fourth. Yeah. Vacho vegam, manasah krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udarupastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishahet dhira, sarvam api mam prithvim sasishyat. अत्याहारः प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति उत्साहान्निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत्कर्म प्रवर्तनात् सङ्गत्यागात् सतो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यम् आख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम् कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा द्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशं शुश्रूषया भजनविज्ञमनन्यम् अनन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदमीप्सितसङ्गलब्ध्या दृष्टय स्वभावजनितैव पुजश्च दोषैर्नाप्राकृतत्वम् इह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गाभशां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्कैः ब्रह्मद्रवत्वम् अपगच्छति नीरधर्मैः स्यात् कृष्णनाम चरितादिसितापि अविद्या पित्तोपतप्तरसनस्न रोचिकानु किन्तु आदरात् अनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वाद्विक्रमाद् भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री तन्नामरूपचरितादिषु कीर्तनानु स्मृत्यो क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजे तदनुरागी जनानुगामी कालं नयेद् अखिलमिति उपदेशसारम् वैकुण्ठाजनितो वरा मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवात् वृन्दारण्यमुदारपानिरमनात् तत्रापि गोवर्धनः राधाकुण्डम् इहापि गोकुलपतेः प्रेमामृताप्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवं विवेकी न कः कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिनास् तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्तिपरमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्ता पशुपालपङ्कजदृशश् ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका प्रेष्ठात्तावदीयं तदीयसरसि तां नाश्रयेत् कः कृती कृष्णस् उच्चै प्रणयवष्टि प्रेयसोऽभीप्य राधा कुण्डं चास्य मुनिभिरभितस्तादृगेव व्यधायि यत्प्रेष्ठैरपि अलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजाम् तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि सरः स्नातुराविष्करोति इति श्री उपदेशामृतम् हरे कृष्णा. So we will recite like this. We'll try every session, and then you can catch the tune as we recite, and hopefully by the end, when we recite like this, we will be able to memorize this. Okay. So Rupa Goswami has described this Upadeshamritam as Kantha. Kantha means neck. Har means the necklace. Basically, Kantha means necklace. So this necklace has to be worn by each and every Gaudiya Vaishnava. Just like we have Tulsi Mala. So we can wear the Kantahar of Upadeshamritam. Okay. And what to do? Generally, necklace is to show, right? Like necklace is worn so high that everybody must see. It cannot be hidden. So the Kantahar of Upadeshamritam is not for show off, but to have the pride of being a Rupanuga Vaishnava. Okay. So that is the way we can dovetail our pride. Okay. So we can wear Upadeshamritam by memorizing it. And whenever needed, we can take out any verse and recite it and remember the instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, so let's begin with the second verse. Okay, yeah. So here is a. Are you able to see my screen, Anish Prabhu? Or anybody else can respond? Yeah.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. Okay. So verse 1 at a glance, what we discussed till now. Here I have put it. So this is from the Subodhini made by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. So this is prepared by him. So 6 favorable and 6 sorry, we discussed about the 6 unfavorable urges basically of bhakti for bhakti. So here we have categorized as per the instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, so he has mentioned this categorization. So first is vacha or speech, vachika. So in that the urge which comes is only one, vacho vegam, the vega or urge to speak. And what is solution? Solution for everything, solution is Krishna consciousness. But in particular here speaking Krishna Katha. Second is the function of mind, manaha. In that we have two of them. Okay, manaha vegam and krodha vegam. And we discussed last time there is two types of krodha vegam: avirodha priti, unrestricted attachment, and virodha yukta krodha, anger in frustration. Okay, yeah. And then we have a body. Related to the body, the three urges are there. Jiva vegam, the urge to, okay, yeah, solutions of mana vegam, think of Krishna. Solution of krodha vegam is use anger against offenders of the Lord and devotees. So we discussed example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hanuman, Arjuna, like that. Okay, and body, kaya. So there are three: jiva vegam, or the urge of the tongue, to specifically eat more, because next shloka now we are going to discuss today will be describing about atya ahar. So there ahar is not only referring to the eating but accumulating things. So otherwise there would be a problem of repetition. So Rupa Goswami would not make that mistake of repetition. So that's why udara, sorry, the jiva veg or udara veg cannot be characterized similar to atyahar. So that we will discuss today. But here, jiva veg is urge of the tongue to eat more specifically. Okay, and the solution for that is eat only Krishna Prasad, and fasting days we can fast. Yeah, these things. And body related second vega is udar vega, the demands of the belly. And observe fasting, yeah, there it comes. Yeah, and bodily third demand is upastha vega, that is urge of the genitals. For that Srila Prabhupada has given, for those who are renounced order, they don't have to engage this, but those who are in grihastha ashrama, they can use it for begetting Krishna conscious children. Yeah, and we discussed the example of Chota Haridas there. Okay, so this was in summary, and now we'll be discussing from the second verse. So yeah, so first the verse is introduced by the first commentator, Radharaman Das Goswami. He is the Acharya from Radharaman temple. Okay, so first commentator. So we'll recite this and then see the meaning. Okay. Yeah, so you can be on mute and recite together. Yeah, so this is simple meter. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha lolyamcha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. Okay, so yeah, so we'll read the meaning. So we can have volunteers who can read and who have not participated till now. Okay, yes, the Gaurang Kriyada Prabhu, would you like to read the translation?
Yes, so my voice is audible.
Yeah.
One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following six activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, taking unnecessary talking
Okay.
unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, quote, practicing the spiritual scripture rules and regulations only for sake of following them and not for sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations for of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements.
Thank you, brother. Purport, you are able to see? No. Yeah, no. I will come to that. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, basically 6 terms are there. So, which are explained one by one. So, first is Atyahara, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Yeah. Yeah. So, this is what Prabhupada has translated the first term. Then, second is Prayasaha. So, over endeavoring for mundane things. Okay, because the endeavor should be done specifically for spiritual items, and for material items it need not be done. Okay, so where is the reference for that? That is spoken in Shrimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17. So that shloka says, okay, let me show you that verse. So that's very important verse which is there. No, not 1.5.17. Yeah, I think 10. Okay. Yeah, 18. Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen. And let me know if you're able to see it. Are you able to see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a very important shloka from the first canto, chapter Narada's instruction to Vyasadeva. तस्यैव हेतोः प्रियते तु कोविदो न लभ्यते यद् भ्रमतामुपर्यधः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवद अन्यतः सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररमहसा. Yeah. So yes, Gaurang Krida Prabhuji, please read the translation. Okay. So yeah.
Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophical inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, so here very important thing that Prabhupada writes. So persons who are actually intelligent. So he means this to be devotees and philosophically inclined, obviously, should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from topmost planet Brahmaloka to the lowest planet Patal. So what is not obtainable from top to bottom is bhakti. Okay, the prema. Okay, that is the end result of bhakti. That is not obtainable. So intelligent person should not endeavor for anything other than this, and they should endeavor only for this. Okay, so why? What is the reason? As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment, means material endeavors, is concerned, it is obtained automatically. How automatically? By the karma, law of karma. From the previous life, whatever we have done, this life, whatever we have done, that is automatically given. That happiness or even misery, okay, that is automatically attained by all the people. Okay, but in devotee's case, it is very specific. Krishna himself chooses when to give what happiness and when to give what misery. That we will be seeing later, whenever that comes. Yeah. So, yeah, misery is nobody desires, but it still comes. So the point I'm saying, this verse, I have quoted this verse is for that only spiritual endeavor is that which is worth doing, and material endeavor will automatically give its results. We don't have to do extra endeavor for material things. That is the point. Okay. So now we'll go to the Deshamritam. Okay. So this is 1.5.18. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, please. Yeah, I was reading. Yeah. So over endeavoring for mundane things. Okay. So that is not required. So endeavor is required. Over endeavor is not required. Okay. So ati prayas also not required. Ati ahar is not required. Ati prayas is also not required. Okay. That is applied for both. Okay. Things that are very difficult to obtain. Yeah. So some things which are very difficult to obtain, one should not do over endeavor for them. Okay. Because what will happen is one will generally compromise one's own bhakti. So what is the criteria to understand, are we over endeavoring? Many times devotees have this question. The answer is very, very simple. The moment your basic commitment of bhakti is getting compromised, whatever you have done commitment. Okay, somebody may be chanting 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds, whatever, and doing once in a week 1 hour service in temple, whatever you have taken commitment, that is getting compromised means over endeavor is being done. Okay, this is very simple rule to understand. Okay, so that doesn't mean that we'll go on reducing our commitments as we grow in number of years. That is not the purpose. But I'm saying that as per our advancement, we should take up commitment, and as per our advancement, our endeavor should be less. Okay. Third, prajalpa, prakrishta rupena jalpa. What is meaning of that? Talking. How? What kind of talking? Unnecessary. About what? When it becomes unnecessary? When it is about mundane subject. Okay, matters. So mundane subject matters. Many times we have seen that devotee misunderstand it to be things which are even favorable for bhakti. So there are 9 limbs of bhakti, and there are also things favorable for performing them. So these two together don't come into this category of mundane subject matter. Okay, so this is the biggest question devotees have, that those things which are favorable for doing bhakti, 9 limbs, are they mundane subject matter or what? No, they are not. Why? That is told again in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in the commentary to Anyabhilashita Shunyam, that Krishna Sambandhi, and directly that is which is Krishna related and directly to Krishna. If these two things are there, they are not against the bhakti, they are anukul for bhakti. Okay, so I will show the reference later. I can send in WhatsApp group. But please understand that 9 limbs themselves, surely they are not mundane subject matters. And those things which make us perform those 9 limbs, they may be favorable items. Okay. Like somebody may need a car to come to the temple. Somebody may need a scooter or bike to come to the temple. So these are not mundane subjects matter, because they are helping us perform our bhakti, and we may be using them sometimes for our sense gratification also because of our conditioning, but that doesn't mean they are becoming mundane, because we are using them for Krishna conscious purpose also. And as far as possible, we should try to reduce the uses of that object for our own sense gratification till the time we come to yukta vairagya that we discussed earlier. What is definition of yukta vairagya? Completely not using the sense objects for one's own sense pleasure, that is yukta vairagya. So it will take time for us to come. So till that time we have to use the things which may be looking as mundane, but they help us in performing bhakti. Okay. Yeah. So that was the third thing. Prajalpa. And niyam agraha and niyam agraha both can be there. So Prabhupada has given both the meanings here. Practicing the spiritual rules and regulations only for the sake of following them. Okay. And not understanding. Basically just getting the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. Okay. So we'll see what examples Prabhupada gives. And not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Okay. So, and second meaning or is rejecting the rules and regulations completely of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Okay. So generally we have a counselor or guide, yeah, philosopher, friend and guide. That is a counselor. Correct. In general, yeah, there can be other definitions also, but this is one of them. Friend, philosopher and guide. Okay. So they are there, and then we can take guidance from them. And at least we should have somebody in our life whom we have trust and whom we have faith in and who guides us in our bhakti. Okay. And it should not be only online guidance, because it's very important that somebody is able to see us what we are doing, and it's local guidance that is also very important. Okay. So, and only online hearing also is not good. There should be some physical interaction also, because there are many mistakes which maybe we may be doing but which cannot be corrected online. Okay, that is fourth point. And fifth is jana sangha. So jana means person, sangha means association. So why the association of person is destroying bhakti, vinashyati? Why? Because associating with worldly minded people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that it's better you put me into the cage and set it on fire than to keep me in the association of Vishay, worldly minded people. Worldly minded people, who are they? They are of tendency who have the bhukti, bhukti kami, means they have the tendency to enjoy sense objects, and some are having the tendency to enjoy by going to Swarga, like that. Okay, so that is the point. We should try avoid our association from them. Okay, those who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And then sixth point is laulyam. Okay, laulyam for what? Greedy for mundane achievements. Okay, again the same thing. Mundane achievements, we should not consider Krishna conscious achievements as mundane. Okay, so some things which are favorable for performance of our bhakti. Okay, like somebody may be doing it's all considered as service, doing the service of being a counselor. Somebody may be doing the service of vessel washing. So it's all a service. Somebody may be doing the service of giving a lecture. Okay, like that. So this all is service. And one should not be greedy for mundane achievements. That's what here Prabhupada has translated. So he will explain in the purport, we will see. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yeah. Okay, yeah, somebody else can read who has not participated. Okay, Aman Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Updesha Prakashika Tika.
Yeah, this is basically the commentary of Radharaman Goswami. He's going to introduce the verse. And as we have discussed in the first verse, that was not direct bhakti. Vacho vegam, mansa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udarupastha vegam. Controlling them is not directly bhakti. Okay, so it's something which is favorable for bhakti. Yes, yes, please continue.
In the beginning stage of the practice of bhakti, the material proclivity is prominent in the hearts of the sadhakas. Therefore, they are unable to subdue the 6 overwhelming passions described in the first verse.
Yeah.
Consequently, in this condition, many tendencies that are very harmful to bhakti develop in the hearts of sadhakas. In this verse, those injurious tendencies are being described for the benefit of the sadhakas. The word atyahar means to eat more than required or to accumulate material objects.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So here, Radharaman Goswami is introducing this verse. What is the context of this verse now? So in the beginning stage of what? Practice of bhakti, sadhana. Okay. So in the beginning stage, what is there? We have anarthas, like we were discussing. Anarth nivriti is part of the process. So that is material proclivity is prominent in the heart of sadhakas. Okay, anarth nivriti has not happened so much. It's there. So in order to practice bhakti nicely, so they have to control some things. Okay, that was mentioned in the first verse also. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, etc. And then now he writes, therefore they are unable to subdue the 6 overwhelming passions described in the first verse. So it's not completely possible for them to subdue. Okay, why? Because of the anarthas. Okay, not completely subdued due to the anarthas which is mentioned. Okay, the material proclivity. And then what happens consequently in this condition, means in the practice stage? Okay, many tendencies that are very harmful to bhakti develop in the heart of sadhakas. Okay, what are those tendencies? So those tendencies are mentioned in the NY 2. Okay, in those whose in this verse, those injurious tendencies are being described for the benefit of the sadhakas. Yeah, so that's what I told. I know it too. He's going to describe that. And now this is the first one. What is that? Atya ahara. Okay. So a very simple definition. Ahar means to eat and ati means excessive. So means to eat more than required, basically, or to accumulate metal objects. So just if we stick to eating, then it will be similar to the udar vegam. So that is not the context here exactly, but it is also associated with accumulating some things. What kind of things? Not spiritual objects, metal objects. What kind of metal objects? Those which are unfavorable for bhakti. Okay. So earlier we described there are some objects which are favorable to 9 limbs of bhakti. But here are some objects described which are unfavorable for bhakti. Okay. So Pratikulasya Varjanam. Okay, that is one limb of Saranagati. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Yes, yes, Aman Pro, please continue.
The word prayas means to endeavor for worldly objects or to be engaged in activities that are opposed to bhakti. The word prajalpa means to uselessly criticize and gossip about others, which is a gross misuse of time. The word niyamagraha, when broken into its constituent parts, has two meanings. First is niyama plus agraha, that is over zealousness in following rules, and second is niyam agraha, agraha, failure to accept rules. When the first meaning is applied, it refers to enthusiasm for those rules that yield an inferior result, such as promotion to the heavenly planets, leaving aside the endeavor for the superior attainment of the service of the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, now second item is introduced. Radharaman Goswami speaks about prayasa. Okay, so what kind of prayas he means? So Prabhupada also told endeavor for material objects, worldly objects. Okay. So obviously we just keep in mind they are not the objects which are favorable for bhakti. Those which are favorable for bhakti, we have to have it. Okay, that we have to keep in mind. Yeah. So and then third, yeah, he has mentioned right opposed to bhakti. So this is very important, and it's very individual choice. For something, so something may be opposed. For somebody, it may be not opposed. So nobody can judge others that Prabhu is having something or this Mataji is having something. Oh, which is such a thing which is opposite to bhakti. No, if it is opposite to our bhakti, not necessarily for others. Okay, obviously we are not telling about going outside the boundaries of Krishna consciousness and breaking four negative principles, all those stuff. But there are so many things which are in periphery, in between. It's neither out of Krishna consciousness and it may not be in our Krishna consciousness. But we are not the ones to judge others. Okay, if something is opposed to our bhakti, not necessarily for others. Okay, so the best thing would be that we evaluate ourselves whether it is favorable for my bhakti or not. We may see some other devotee having something and we may get a desire to have it also. But the first question we should ask, is it favorable for my bhakti or not? If we are not able to decide, then ask the devotee who is guiding you. Okay, and that devotee should be, as we have been discussing, Sajatiya, like-minded with yours, Snigdha, and he should be favorable. Snigdha means he should be having good, you know, what is the word we discussed last time? Yeah, means Snigdha basically means free flow, like honey when we pour, it's free flow. Like that, the devotee association should be with us. And Satovar, and he should be more advanced in Krishna consciousness than us. We should not go to somebody who is, we are practicing 5 years and then somebody practicing 6 months. We go and ask them, is it good? They will tell, yes, it is surely good. So that much we should have maturity. Sajati, like-minded, Satovara, and Snigdha, like that. Okay, and then they will guide us. Hare Krishna. So if somebody unmuted, you can mute yourself. Third, Prajalpa. Anish bro, you can see if somebody unmuted, you can mute. The word Prajalpa. Yeah. So here, Radharani Goswami is describing uselessly criticize and gossip about others. Okay, which is a gross misuse of time. Yeah. So as such, devotees and everybody in the world have two assets: time and money. So money can be regained. Something is lost, it can be regained. Time cannot be regained, basically. Obviously, health is also a very important thing. Yeah. So basically, as devotees, we should very much be very careful about how and where we are spending our time. And then fourth item, niyam agraha. So as we are seeing, the vicheda or sandhi vicheda is niyama. The agraha, according to rule of Sanskrit, it can be in two ways. A plus a also becomes a, and a plus a also becomes a only. And all four combinations become this same thing basically. Here, what is the combination? A plus a. That also becomes a only. Okay. And the fourth combination, what is missing? Yeah, this also becomes that only, according to rule of Sanskrit. So Padavicheda is done by Radharam Goswami. So two meanings are coming out. One is overzealous, Prabhupada told that meaning. And also second meaning Prabhupada told is failure to accept rules. Okay. So we'll see in detail. So yeah, so here he is explaining the 4A. Okay, let's say this as A, this as B. So the 4A is Niyam Agraha, over jealousness is described here. Is applied, it refers to enthusiasm for those rules that yield a inferior result, means that thing which is going to be opposite to our bhakti. Okay, what are those things? Example is given. Promotion to heavenly planets. So devotees should not have these kind of desires that I want to go heaven and enjoy. They may have a desire which they want to give up. Such kind of desire may be there and they want to give it up, but they should not keep it as a goal, that I want to have a desire as a goal of my practice of bhakti. Okay, as a goal they should give up. Okay, so I will clarify here, not as the goal of bhakti. Okay, and leaving aside the endeavor for the superior attainment of the service of the Lord. So giving up favorable. Okay, giving up that is favorable, and taking up which is not favorable, that is called the over jealousness in following the rules. Okay, like that. Yeah. Yeah, please read.
When the second meaning is applied, it refers to indifference towards those rules that nourish bhakti. The word Jan Sangha means to give up the association of pure devotees and keep company with others. In the conversation between Devahuti and Kardama Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.23.55, there is a very nice instruction about giving up worldly association.
Yeah. Okay, so here the verse is saying, Sangoya samshritir hetu asatsu vihito dhiya sa eva sadhushu krito nisangatvaya kalpate. Yeah, please read.
Association with materialists, that is asatu sangha, done in ignorance. Yaha adhiya vihita is the cause of bondage, samsmriter hetu, and association with devotees done in ignorance, sa eva sadhushu krito, leads to liberation, nisangatvaya kalpate.
Yeah, thank you.
Furthermore,
No, we'll read. Yeah.
yes,
So yeah, so this is 4B. So second meaning, which was given for the word atyaha, sorry, niyama agraha. So that was niyam and agraha, failure to accept rules, is referring to that indifference towards those rules that nourish bhakti. Okay, what are those rules? 64 limbs of bhakti are mentioned. In that 64 also, most important are 25 limbs. Okay. So what are the 25 limbs? First 20 and last 5. Last 5 we all know. Okay. Nam Sankirtanam, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathuravas, Sri Murtayara, Shraddha, Sevan. These 5 limbs plus 20 more are there, which are doors to bhakti. Okay. Out of 25, if we have to point out the 5 most important, that are the last 5, which I told now. Okay. So these should not be given up. We should not become indifferent to them. अरे हो गया तो हो गया, नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ. Time मिलेगा तब तो. Not like that. Those 5 limbs have to be done whenever opportunity is there. Okay. Yeah. Fifth is Janasangha. Means to give up the association of pure devotees. Okay. And keep company with others. So what is the meaning of pure devotees? So as we discussed in the previous sessions, are we practicing pure bhakti? So those who are practicing pure bhakti, having anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena krishna anushilanam bhakti uttamaha. Those who are following that definition are practitioners of pure devotional service, and in one sense we can call them also pure devotees, but in the stage of sadhana. Okay, so pure devotees is a term, and there is another term called perfected devotee. Okay, who is a perfected devotee? Who is at the stage of bhava or prema? Okay, like our Guru Maharaj may be there, and Srila Prabhupada, they are all perfected devotees. Okay, who are called siddha. Surely we should take there as much more association as possible. That will be described in NOI 5. Okay, Anya Nindadi Shunya Hridam Ipsita Sangalabdhya. Those who are devoid of Anya Ninda, criticizing others, Sangalabdhya. We should take their association. NOI 5 it is going to come. But here what Radharaman Goswami is pointing out, as far as my understanding of reading scriptures, pure devotee not only means perfected devotee, it also means who are sadhaka. Sadhaka means practitioner of what? Pure devotional service. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. All those things they are trying to follow in their life. Okay, we can take their association also. Okay, and yeah, this shloka we read how association devotee very important. So two more are there. We will not take them. Go ahead. Yes, Prabhu. Please read.
Having pointed out the defects of material association, the revealed scripture Shastra forbid it. The agitation of the mind for compatible objects and unsteadiness of the mind that results from associating with persons of many different opinions is known as lolya. Such unsteadiness of the mind is like an unchaste woman wandering sometimes upon the path of karma, sometimes on the path of yoga, and sometimes on the path of gyan, and sometimes upon the path of bhakti. So by this predilection for bhakti is destroyed.
Predilection, I understand it means is too much attraction or a specific attraction. Yeah, a specific kind of attraction is called predilection. Okay, just check in dictionary if somebody wants, if that's different meaning. This is what I remember. Yeah, some
Preference or special killing for something, liking for something, bias
especially.
or something.
Yeah, some specific kind of a special attraction, liking like that. Yeah. So yeah, so this is now continuation of the fifth one. Okay, having pointed out the defects of material association, the real scriptures Shastra forbid the Janasangha. Okay, yeah. What happens by Janasangha? We get the desires, what they are having. They whatever their aspirations are, their goals are in life. We'll also start taking them, and we will forget our goals as Krishna Prema. Somebody having goal of Swarga. Nowadays, you will not get many people like that. But there are people who are having different goals in their lives, and most of them are not Krishna conscious. Then when we see the videos on YouTube from them, and we see associate with them or whatever, WhatsApp, Instagram, wherever, so many forums are there. If we associate with them on those forums, then we will slowly get the desires they have, and we will not come to know also. Okay, so it's best to avoid as far as possible. And then now sixth item, Laulyam is introducing. Okay, agitation of the mind for compatible objects and unsteadiness of the mind that results from associating with persons. Okay, of many different opinions is known as Laulya. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I was describing. So the opinion of the person should be Krishna consciousness is the goal, prema is the goal. We should associate with them. Such unsteadiness of the mind is like an unchaste woman. So an example is given to make it more clear. What is this lolyam? It's like unchaste woman wandering sometimes on that path or this path with that person, sometimes with this person. Okay, like that. By this bhakti is destroyed by this having six kind of attraction, like that. Okay, so now what we will do? We'll just go to Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport. Okay. Yeah, anybody has any question till now what we discussed?
It was written we should not take association of pure devotees. Like I did not understand that point.
Prabhuji, same question. Actually, it was written there that Janasangha means
Yes, Prabhuji.
giving up the association of pure
Give up the
devotees.
association of pure devotees.
Acha, give up was there? Okay. The words Janasangha mean to give up the association of pure devotee and keep company with others. Words Janasangha mean to give up.
It should be to keep the company of associates.
I think
Yeah,
it's stating we should not do like that.
So Janasangha we shouldn't do. So Janasangha is to give up and we should avoid that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Janasangha means to give up. Yeah, correct. The statement is correct. Janasangha means one is giving up the good association and keeping company with others like that. Okay, clear, na?
It's neglecting the.
Yeah, neglecting the good association.
Razi, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Related to this only. So Janasangha means to give up association of pure devotees and to associate with worldly people. So does that giving up association of pure devotees is a criteria in Janasangha? Because we
1 minute. Just I will be back. Yeah, 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, please ask the question.
Yes, so in our life we associate with so many worldly minded people. So is that Janasangha? Because there are two criteria given in that statement, that to take their association and reject the association of pure devotees. So is it like that, or can you explain?
Yeah, it is both ways. Taking association of pure devotees is positive, and to give up the materialistic association is other side of it. Both should be done. Like there is example of Mukunda in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Sometimes he would unwillingly not be. He was not able to avoid the association of impersonalists. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him like that. So that we have to understand. So we should be strong enough to avoid the association of non-Krishna conscious person. That is also part of Jansangha. And as well, yeah, we are associating with devotee, that is positive, we have to surely do, but avoid also on the other side. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So what I was thinking, before we start Prabhupada's purport, we can take 5 minutes break and then we will continue. Okay. So we'll meet at 12:05. Yeah. Just remind me to resume. Yeah, so now we are going to see translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so somebody can read who has not participated till now. Anybody want to volunteer? Yes, Deepika Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since all conditions living beings are under the control of the Lord's third energy, this material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three primary energies or potencies. The first is called the Antarang Shakti or the internal potency. The second is called the Tata Shakti or the marginal potency. The third is called the Bahiranga Shakti or the external potency. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between the internal and external potencies. Being subordinate as eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or atomic living entities must remain under the control of either the internal or external potency. When they are under the control of internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, namely constant engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.13.
Yeah, I can read.
Okay. I can read, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mahatmanastu mam partha devam prakritim ashritah bhajanti Ananya Manaso Jnanatva Buddhadi Avyam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Yeah, thank you. So here, first paragraph we completed. So if you have the books, you can have a look. So Prabhupada has been focusing here the purpose and goal of human life. So he has started with saying that okay. Okay. Yeah, so that is plain living and high thinking. Yeah. Yeah. So he has told that all the living entities are either one of the three, basically are two energies, Antaranga or Bahiranga. And there is third energy, which is there, Tatastha Shakti, who is either in Antaranga sometime and sometime in Bahiranga. Yeah. So when they are under the control of the internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, that is Bhakti. And Srila Prabhupada has quoted this from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, like that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Somebody else would like to read?
May I read one?
Yes. Shashwati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded, not cripple-minded. Cripple-minded persons always engaged in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification for the sense gratification of others, like the members of their family, community, or society, either national or international.
No.
Actually, all these activities are extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. These activities may all be very good from the material point of view, but they have no spiritual value. The basis of such activities is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when a person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can he be called a Mahatma or a broad-minded person.
Yes, thank you. So here now again Prabhupada is explaining more about the Tatastha Shakti. Okay. So this Mahatma is a person who has taken shelter of Antaranga Shakti. But as such, all souls are Tatastha Shakti. But he has taken shelter of Antaranga Shakti. Mahatma Nastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Ashrita. Okay, he has taken shelter of Daivi Prakriti, means internal potency. And they are not cripple-minded. They are not short-sighted. Yeah. So what is the definition of cripple-minded? That Prabhupada has explained here. What is the definition? They are always engaged. In what? In satisfying their senses. Okay. This is completely opposite to devotees. Devotees are not always engaged. Even if sometimes they are engaged, they want to give it up. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, some is like nationalism, humanitarianism, and altruism. Yeah. So these things are told. And then Prabhupada is saying further about the Mahatmas and the Duratmas. So who are Mahatmas? Who are broad-minded? Here he has told under the protection and control of internal energy. And there are Duratmas who are doing their extended sense gratification or personal sense gratification. Okay. So they are all in the category of the Duratma. Okay. So the basis of their activities is sense gratification. That's what Prabhupada is doing. It may be either personal or it may be extended. So two types of Duratmas are there. Either they do personal sense gratification or extended, or even they can do both. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Yes, please read. Okay, somebody want to read? Can. Yeah, Priya Mataji.
In the above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the words Daivam Prakritim refers to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual jivas, souls, are under the control of the internal energy, their only engagement is the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu.
Yeah.
This is the position of a Mahatma. If one is not a Mahatma, he is either a Duratma or a cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of the Lord's external potency, Mahamaya.
Yeah, continue.
Indeed, all living, shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Indeed, all living entities within this material world are under the control of Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries: Adi Devi Kleshas, sufferings caused by the demigods, such as droughts, earthquakes, and storms; Adi Bhautik Klesha, suffering caused by other living entities like insects or enemies; and Adi Adhyatmik Klesha, suffering caused by one's own body, mind, such as physical and mental infirmities. Daivim Bhutatma Hetava. The conditioned souls are subject to these three miseries by the control of the external energy, suffer various difficulties.
Yeah. So previously Prabhupada described now about Mahatma and Duratma. Now he is saying about that was Tatastha Shakti. Now this is about external energy, Bahiranga Shakti. Okay. Internal energy, first paragraph he described also. So this is external energy described, and it has three functions: Adidevi Klesh, Adibhautik Klesh, and Adhyatmik Klesh. Okay, that is explained here. Okay. Yeah. Pavan, please read.
The main problem of confronting the conditioned souls is the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. In the material world, one has to work for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one perform such work in a way that is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? Everyone requires possessions such as food, grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for the maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more than necessary for these actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body.
Yeah. So now Prabhupada is going to the Atyahar. Okay. First point in the whole verse that is started to be explained by Srila Prabhupada here. Okay. So as we discussed earlier, Ati means too much, and Ahar means to collect or to eat. Both the things were told by Radharaman Goswami. Yeah. So Atyahar, Srila Prabhupada has defined in similar way. Okay. So you can see what are the meanings he has given. Okay. So everyone requires possessions. Okay. As food, grains, clothing, money, and other necessary things. Okay. So these are not against devotional service. These are all favorable for bhakti. So these are not material commodities for devotees. Food, grains, clothing, money. Okay. These are all not material commodities. I mean, material commodities for devotees. For devotees, they are all spiritual because they are helping in performing the 9 limbs of bhakti, and they are necessary for devotees. But one should not collect more than necessary for the actual basic needs, for his actual basic needs. So whatever is as per one's need, because if one has more, one will have to maintain them and then spend more time also. So one very simple example is like somebody doesn't need a car and he purchases a car, then if he doesn't drive the car, that is another problem. And if he has a desire that anyhow I have purchased, I should drive, then he has to give extra time. Okay, because there is so much traffic that he is not able to go to office by that car. Okay, so there can be many examples like that. But every devotee has to evaluate themselves. It's very, very individual. Okay, nobody can comment about others. It's not good, yeah. Until unless one knows everybody, others very well, like somebody is guiding somebody, they may know about them. Yeah. So what is the basic needs that they can understand and then accordingly accept the objects. Okay, if this is natural, if this natural principle is followed, what is that natural principle? Prabhupada told in first line: simple, plain thinking and simple living. Okay, that is the natural principle Prabhupada is saying here. Okay, that is to be followed. okay, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. Okay, so this is about the Atyahar Prabhupada has started saying. Okay, yeah. So let's continue. Yeah, Priya Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask, supposing if somebody has taken a big house, it is actually what is more than needed for a 2%, but if that house is used for holding a house program, so how correct is that? That is, if we are saying that more than the basic need, we shouldn't accumulate.
Correct.
But it is then again dovetail to bhakti only. So how do we balance the thing?
Yeah, so as far as I understand your question is, the person has already purchased a house, being not having the aim of having big programs for Krishna conscious programs, but he already had purchased before, but now he dovetailing. Is that the question?
Yeah, the question is, Prabhuji, there's basic, like the basic need is not there because there are only 2 people staying in the house.
Okay.
But that person has started a program, a weekly program in her house. Being a big house, it can accommodate more devotees.
Okay.
So how do we go about balancing with the basic need and the dovetailing part, wala?
Yeah. So basic need, everybody knows what are their basic needs, and they should have that. But if the need comes for the service or like preaching purpose and all, so then that is not just basic need, it's Krishna conscious need. Okay, it's a need for doing their service to Krishna. That spiritual endeavor should be done. Okay, as we read earlier. Okay, the spiritual endeavor part has to be done. Material endeavor part has to be minimized. That will automatically come. So if it is required for service and one has the one has the required Lakshmi, then one can do that service. Yeah, as such we understand, right? Anybody has a big amount of Lakshmi, he can give big amount of donation. So that's not a problem. So that's what I understand. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, somebody else would like to read? Yeah, Sanatan Gopal Prabhu.
According to nature's arrangement, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. If a bag of rice is placed in a public place, come to eat a few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away the whole bag.
Yeah. Yeah, please read.
He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to the scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyahar is prohibited. Now the entire world is suffering because of it.
Yeah. So again, now Prabhupada is continuing the Atyahar to be explained. So as we discussed, it's either accumulation of food or accumulation of any object which is not one's need. Okay, that's what Prabhupada has defined. Okay, so there are some examples Prabhupada has given here. Okay, that we can see. And so he is saying the examples of there are lower species who don't ever accumulate. Okay, so here he has explained the example of bag rice of bag. Yeah, bag of rice. And it takes away a human being, but not the animals. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Shanmukha Sairam. Yeah, please read.
Hare Krishna. Sir. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes prayasa or unnecessary endeavor. By God's arrangement, anyone in any part of the world can live very peacefully if he has some land and a milk cow. There is no need for man to move from one place to another to earn a livelihood. For one can produce food grains locally and get milk from cows. That can solve all economic problems. Fortunately, man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness or the understanding of God. One's relationship with Him and the ultimate goal of life. love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized man, not caring for God realization, utilizes his intelligence to get more than necessary and simply eat to satisfy the tongue. There is sufficient scope for the production of milk and grains for human beings all over the world. But instead of using his higher intelligence to cultivate God consciousness, so-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. Thus, factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, and liquor shops are opened. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to possess artificial amenities, they think they are being advised to return to a primitive way of life. Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. That is their unfortunate position.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So properly explaining the mentality of people. Yeah, I think we'll go a little ahead and then we will discuss. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Somebody else want to read? Yeah, Jyoti Mataji. Okay. So others, yeah. Please read, bro.
Human life is meant for God realization, and the human being is given higher intelligence for this purpose. Those who believe that this higher intelligence is meant to attain a higher state should follow the instruction of the Vedic literatures. By taking such instructions from higher authorities, one can actually become situated in perfect knowledge and give real meaning
Real meaning
of life.
Yeah, thank you. So, so till now, what we read here is Prabhupada explaining now the purpose of human life as he started from the very first paragraph. Okay, so he is continuing that theme. Okay, utility of human life. And before this, whatever was described. Okay, so here we have seen the capitalists he described. Okay, so if we go back, we can see. Okay, so basically, those mentalities it is describing the capitalist mentality, that factories, slaughterhouse, brothels, all these things. Okay, and he is condemning them. Okay, and then collecting too many goods, eating too much, working too much, workaholic kind of thing. Okay, so they are advised to return to primitive way of life. Okay, so just very first line of the purport Prabhupada is focusing here, simple living. Okay, like that. So that will reduce the material engagements and give opportunity to have spiritual engagement basically. Okay, that's what he is focusing. Okay. And there is a verse also which comes in Ishopanishad, which you will learn. Okay, that one should not encroach upon others' property also. Okay, Isavasham idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena taktena bunjita magridha kasya suddhanam. Okay, magridha, don't encroach on others' property. Okay, why? Isavasham idam sarvam. This whole world is avas of Isha, home of Lord. Okay. Okay. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. So whatever one gets as per one's quota, that one should accept. That is the point. Okay. So now Prabhupada continue this explaining of the utility of human life. Yeah, we'll read. Yes. Yes. Who is reading? Please continue. Yeah. So who was reading? Or whoever want to read, they can. Yeah, continue.
In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.9, Sri Sukadeva Goswami describes the proper human dharma in this way. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthartho kalpate nartasya dharmai kantasya kamo labhaye hi smritaha. labhaya smritaha. All occupational engagements, dharma, are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service, dharma, should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. That is the true purpose of religion. Unfortunately, people accept religion for material prosperity because of atyahara or an excessive desire for such prosperity. True religion, however, instructs people to be satisfied with the bare necessities of life while cultivating Krishna consciousness. Even though we require economic development, true religion allows it only for supplying the bare necessities of material existence.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So, the purpose of true religion, Prabhupada is explaining now, basically continuing from the point of right utility, whatever is the utility of human life. So now he is making few points. So if you see previously, he has mentioned about the higher intelligence. Okay, so that is given to human beings. Correct? It came here, no? Yeah, here. See, this is a first point. Okay, higher intelligence is there for human beings. They should not misuse this and underuse them. Basically, okay. What is the proper use? Proper use, Prabhupada has told about God consciousness. He gives many examples. Okay, so there are many people who are having some religious things. Okay, and there are people who are not having all those things, no those interests. So they are no better than animal society, like that. Okay, and if we go further, then Prabhupada explaining about prayasa, the over endeavor. What kind of prayas? The people who are misusing, what they are misusing? Intelligence. Okay, and what they are doing? They are using it for creating unnecessary things which are against dharma. What are they? Like slaughterhouse. Okay, where is that example? Yeah, I think previously it came. Yeah, basically, yeah, slaughterhouse. Somewhere it was there, no? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, basically those kind of endeavors. Okay. So excessive desire for such kind of prosperity. So atyahar we have to understand leads to prayas. That's the focus here Prabhupada is bringing. Okay. Having a desire to accumulate too much leads to prayas. And that we can see sometimes in devotees' life also. If they are not very clear what are their need, then that need will create the endeavor so much prayas, and then Krishna consciousness, basic Krishna consciousness is compromised. Sometimes we see they are not able to chant 16 rounds also in a day, even though they have taken commitment. They may not be initiated, but yeah, rarely it happens with initiated devotee, but commitment they have taken and then they are not able to do. So that means going in the zone of prayas, like that. And another point Prabhupada mentioned here about true religion. Yes, this is the third point. Second was about this the prayas point, and third he was mentioning about true religion. What is true religion? Instructs people to be satisfied with bare necessities. Okay, not atyahar, no prayas of life, while cultivating Krishna consciousness. So this cultivating Krishna consciousness, as I have been telling earlier, it is 9 limbs plus items favorable, which are favorable. So there are all those are bare necessities which are required. Okay. Yeah. So we'll read ahead. Okay. Yeah. Somebody is reading. Yeah.
Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. The real purpose of life is to inquire about the absolute truth. In our endeavor, prayasa is not to inquire about the absolute truth. We will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial needs. A spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavor.
Yeah. So this is fourth point now Prabhupada is bringing in this Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa. This is should be the aim of the life of human being. What is that? Just like we have Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Atah Brahma Jigyasa. Hence, Atah, therefore, Brahma Jigyasa. Do Jigyasa for knowing the Supreme Lord. Okay, now therefore endeavor for the Supreme Lord. So that's what that endeavor is required, spiritual endeavor, as we read in 1.5.18 Srimad Bhagavatam. Spiritual endeavor is required, but not material endeavor. Okay. If it is not to inquire about the absolute truth, we will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial needs. Okay. So they will not be our what need. So the previous slide you see what Prabhupada made point, bare necessities. And then now he is contrasting it with artificial needs. So they are not bare necessities. Okay, bare needs. Okay. A spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavor. So the same thing that Bhagavatam 1.5.18 we read, right? That same thing. Yeah, please continue. Okay, somebody else can read. Yeah. Pavan Kumar Prabhu. Yeah, please read.
Hare Krishna. Another impediment is prajalpa, necessary talking. When we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin unnecessary talking, sounding just like broken rods. If we must talk, we should talk about the Krishna consciousness. Those outside of the Krishna consciousness movement are interested in reading heaps of newspapers, magazines, and novels, solving crossword puzzles and doing many other nonsensical things.
Yeah. Yeah, continue.
In this fashion, people simply waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western countries, old men retired from active life, play cards, fish, watch television, and debate about useless socio-political schemes. All these and other frivolous activities are included in the Prajalpa category. Intelligent persons interested in Krishna consciousness should never take part in such activities.
Yeah. So now the third theme of the shloka, Atyahara Prayasa, they both have been explained. Third is Prayasa. Okay. That is being explained by Prabhupada now. Okay. Oh, sorry. Prajalpa. Okay. Prajalpa is being explained now. So what is that? Very simple definition, unnecessary talking. Okay. Prabhupada will tell further. A Krishna conscious talk should be there. So example is told here now. Prabhupada is telling the example of croaking of the toads or frogs. Okay, and somewhere else also Prabhupada says how actually they lose their life by speaking unnecessarily because the snake of death will come and eat them. So now it is a rainy season. Okay, and we can hear many times the croaking of toads, frogs. So that's very relevant here. Okay, the Prajalpa. Okay, and then Prabhupada is giving the solution. Okay, what is the solution for this problem? The solution is we should talk, but we should talk about the Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, that is the solution. Okay, so what is that talking? That is preaching. Whatever we know, we can preach or we can chant, whatever. Yes. And what should not be done? Newspapers, magazines, novels, solving crosswords, puzzles, all this. There are many things. These may not be relevant now. Now it is like Facebook, Instagram, so many things where non-Krishna conscious things happen. Yeah. So yeah, but somebody may say no, Prabhupada also would read newspaper. Yeah, that is true. Prabhupada also would read, but his reading is not like us. He is not absorbed in the newspaper like us, forgetting the Krishna consciousness. He is reading it with the mission to preach what is happening in which country. And some devotees also nowadays we see they write articles or create YouTube videos on the current things what happens. Okay, so that's completely different from the materialistic getting absorbed in newspaper. Okay, so there is no Krishna consciousness there. But sometimes some devotees may need to see the news, and obviously devotees should be aware of what is happening in the world. Otherwise, yeah, we are not even in the world. We should not be off the world, but at least we should be in the world. And we are not knowing the news, then we are not in the world. We don't know who won, BJP won, or what are the result of election. We don't know. Then we are not in the world also. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So whatever is required should be done for preaching. If at all, that is our service. Okay. Yes. I'll continue. Yeah. Please read Pavan Prabhu. Okay. Yeah. We'll just complete this Prajalpa, then we'll come to Pratik Prabhu. Yeah. Pavan Prabhu, please read.
In this fashion, simply waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western countries, old men retired from active approaching this is done.
Okay.
Should never take part in such activities. I think this slide is done.
I don't think this is done. Done?
Yeah, play cards, fish, watch
This
television.
we discussed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. ठीक है. Yeah. We'll go to next. Yeah.
Janasangha is Pratik.
This is fourth one. Yeah. I think now he can read. Yeah. Pratik.
Pratik.
Janasangha refers to associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. One should strictly avoid such association. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has therefore advised us to live only in the association of Krishna conscious devotees, Bhakta Sanevas. One should always engage in the service of the Lord in the association of Lord's devotees. Association with those engaged in a similar line of business is very conducive to advancement in that business.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. Consequently, materialistic persons form from various associations and clubs to enhance their endeavors. For example, in the business world, we find such institutions as the Stock Exchange and Chamber of Commerce. Similarly, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. This spiritual association offered by our ISKCON movement is increasing day by day. Many people from different parts of the world are joining this society to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. Yes. So now Prabhupada is explaining about the fifth limb, basically. Yeah. But the Niyam Graha will come later. So anyhow, Janasangha is explaining. So what is the definition? Associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. Okay, very simple definition. Okay. And one should strictly avoid such association. This same thing Radharaman Goswami also told. He told that a verse from third canto. Okay. Lord Kapila's section. Yeah, and now here Prabhupada is also quoting from authority Narottam Das Thakur. Okay. Bhakta Sanne Vas. Okay. So Tandera Charan Sevi Bhakta Sanne Vas. Janama Janama Hoy Yahi Abhilash. Okay. Tandera Charan Sevi. Let me serve the lotus feet of that person. Okay. Bhakta Sannivas and have association of such a person. Janama Janama hoy yahi abhilash. Let my abhilasha means goal, aspiration be this life after life. Okay. So living in the association of devotees, that is the aspiration of Narottam Das Thakur, and we are following him like that. Okay. And then Prabhupada is saying further, one should always engage in service of the Lord in the association of Lord's devotees. So as far as possible, we should try to come to temple and chant together with devotees. That is also service. As far as possible, we should come and attend the Mangalarti in the temple. As far as possible, we should come for Darshanarti, whatever is as per one's capacity. Okay. He may be staying far from temple or close to temple. These all things are individual things that one has to see. But whatever possible is there, one should try to take the opportunity of coming to temple and associating with devotees and also doing some service. Okay. Why? Prabhupada has summed up in one very important line. Our family business, like we have a book, right? So association with those engaged in a similar line of business, very conducive to advancement in that business. We have seen our family business book distribution is there. So when we have devotees together, we can distribute and get enthusiasm so much. But doing alone becomes many times difficult, and chanting alone also becomes difficult many times. Correct? Like that. Yeah. And then Prabhupada is going to the other part. The materialistic persons from various associations and clubs, they enhance their endeavors if we take their association. So one example now Prabhupada has given. So in the business world, we find such institution as the stock exchange and chamber of commerce. So nowadays, yeah, Nifty, all these things. In the same way, what we have done, we have dovetailed such kind of thing in making a society. What kind of society? Society for Krishna consciousness, for remembering Krishna, and by doing service to Krishna. So this is giving opportunity to associate with those who have forgotten Krishna. Okay, like that. So many people from different parts of the world are joining this dormant Krishna consciousness, will be awakened in them like that. Yeah. Now Prabhupada is going to quote from Bhaktivedanta Thakur's in Anuvritti commentary. Okay, about other parts. So till now, what we have seen in Jana Sangha is four things. Persons, if you want, you can write. In essence, he has told four things. Persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, we should avoid their association. And second is, other Acharya also mentioned in these things, like we should avoid association of impersonalists, Mayavadis. And third thing is, we should avoid association of those who are desirers of material things, basically those who are bhukti kami, means desirers of swarga or material objects. And fourth category is atheists. Okay, so I will just write it here. So first is to avoid those who are not having Krishna consciousness. Second is the Mayavadi association, we should avoid. Third is those who are bhukti kami, means wanting material enjoyment. Okay, just they have desire to earn more and more money or enjoy woman or opposite gender, like that. Yeah, they're called bhukti kami. And then fourth is we should avoid the association of atheists, those who are not having God consciousness at all. First category, no Krishna consciousness, means he may be having some other spiritual path being followed in life. Okay, but here the person is not having any the God consciousness at all, like that. And then Prabhupada is contrasting it with good association, association of those engaged in the service of Krishna conscious, service of Krishna, that is in ISKCON. Okay, that is contrasted. So let's go to Bhaktivedanta Thakur's commentary. Okay, yeah. So somebody else can read. Yeah, Sanatan Gopal Prabhu, please read.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anuvritti commentary that too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers falls within the category of atyahar, collecting more than needed. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely futile.
Yeah. Yeah. So now he is quoting from Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So what is the main concept here? So too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on part of mental spirit. So this is atyahar, the first part. Okay, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur has little bit differently defined. Earlier definition was only about eating and accumulating material objects. Now he has changed it to knowledge also. Okay, this is a new introduction by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay, knowledge. What kind of knowledge? That knowledge which is mental speculation or dry philosophy. That falls in the category of atyahar. Okay, collecting more than needed. What kind of collection? Knowledge collection, which will not help in Krishna consciousness. That is another viewpoint he has given. Okay.
According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely futile. The work of karmis who write volumes of books on economic development also falls within the category of atyahar. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of atyahar.
Yeah, so now this is the main definition which Prabhupada had told about accumulating too much of money or material things, that already is explained earlier by Prabhupada. So we will not discuss much. Yeah, please continue, Prabhupada.
Karmis labor to accumulate more and more money for future generations only because they do not know their future position. Interested only in getting more and more money for their sons and grandsons, such foolish persons do not even know that their position is going to be in the next, what their position is going to be in the next life. There are many incidents that illustrate this point.
Yeah. Yeah, continue.
Once a great Karmi accumulated a vast fortune for his sons and grandsons, but later, according to his karma, he took his birth in a cobbler's house located near the building, which is in his previous life he had constructed for his children. If so, it so happened that when this very cobbler came to his former house, his former sons and grandsons beat him with shoes. Unless the karmis and gyanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in futile activities. Sorry, fruitless activities.
Yeah, please.
Accepting some of the spiritual rules and regulations for immediate benefit.
Okay, 1 minute only. Here the changing. Yeah, here Prabhupada has changed it to Niyamagraya. We'll just discuss the previous point. Yeah. So these two slides here, what is explained that is the talk about the karmis. Okay, and who are they? Those who are accumulating more and more money for what? Future generations. And Prabhupada has given example from Bhakti Thakur that how this person accumulated so much in his previous life, but in the later life, his sons only did not recognize, and they were beating him with shoes. So unless the karmis and gyanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue waste their life in fruitless activities. Okay, so that is the conclusion. So those who are devotees, it is their responsibility to give them favorable impressions, increase their sukriti by giving them prasad, by giving them good kirtan if they like, and inviting them to temple so that they can become devotees. That is the only hope they have. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's continue. Yeah, somebody else can read. Yeah, Avinash Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Accepting some of the scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit as a utilitarians advocate is called Niyama
Utility.
Agraha.
This word is coming from utility. Just
Yeah.
utility means to just utilize. Yeah. So utilitarian sort
But
of.
actually, I forgot my spectacle today, so I'm
Okay.
having tough time. Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask somebody
And
else.
neglecting. No, that's fine. I will try. Yeah. And neglecting the shastric rules and regulations that are meant for spiritual development is called Niyama Agraha.
Yeah.
The
No,
word
Prabhupada is
Agraha means
explaining the basically fourth point. And Janasangha, you can write it fifth. Yeah. So here now he is telling about Niyama
Niyama Agraha.
Agraha.
The word
Yeah. Continue.
The word agraha means eagerness to accept, and agraha means failure to accept. By the addition of either of these two words to the word niyama, rules and regulations, the word niyama agraha is formed.
Yeah. So if you remember, Radharan Goswami had told this as over zealousness. Okay. Over zealousness. Okay. Like that. And second one is the under jealousness or failure to accept, like that. Yeah. Continue.
Thus, niyama agraha has twofold meaning that is understood according to the particular combination of words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. Yet, they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the regulative principles by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication.
Yeah, continue.
One should also avoid association with Mayavadis, who simply blaspheme Vaishnavas, devotees.
Okay,
Bhakti means
just 1 minute. Here it's going to start for Janasangha. We'll just discuss before that. Yeah. So here till now, Prabhupada has taken from Bhakti Thakur and explaining Niyam Agraha. So basically, he told about Niyam Agraha. If you see, 4 points are there. First is to accept scriptural rules for immediate benefits such as attaining heaven. This is Niyam Agraha. Okay. So Niyam Agraha, that is the first one, eagerness to accept or overzealousness kind of thing. So immediate material benefits, that is one thing. And second is to remain overzealous to adhere to the lower rules. Okay. Lower rules of what? Attaining Yeah, like lower destination, Swarga and all other things. Okay. And third point is here Prabhupada has told about Jnana. Yeah, Jnana Shastra to obtain liberation. So even that overzealousness to have that kind of thing, that is also called as Niyam Agraha. Okay. And then Niyam Agraha is to neglect the Shastric injunctions. Okay, scriptural injunctions. So here you can see the definition, what he has told, failure to accept. What? That which is described by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Okay, so one fails to accept that. So that is called Niyam Agraha, not Agraha. This is A, 4A, is 4B. Agraha. Failure to accept what that is described by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra and prescribed by them. Like that. And then second point is failure to observe the rules that nourish bhakti, like following Ekadashi, okay, or following fasting days basically, and Acharya's appearance, disappearance day, like that. And third type of failure is neglecting to wear tilak, tulsi mala, chanting itself, chanting on beads. Sometimes we see devotees chanting on the counters, digital counters. So yeah, Guru Maharaj, if he is giving counters, we can accept it and then chant on counters. But if he has given mala, then one should chant on mala. And if one is not initiated, yeah, then one should try his best to accept traditional way of chanting. Okay. But as per time, place, and circumstance, one can sometimes do it, but that should not become a regular habit. Okay. So it sometimes it becomes a regular habit to chant while driving. 1 hour driving to the office, 1 hour driving back from office, 2 hours, and then 16 rounds is done. So that may not be called as chanting. So one has to make sure that he gets a very, very specific exclusive time for chanting as far as possible. Yeah. And eating only prasad. Failure of doing that, it's okay sometimes when one is traveling as a family. It may be sometimes compromised. But as far as when we are there at a situated place at our home, we should try to make arrangements to accept prasad. And if not, yeah, temple here in Pune, at least they are providing temple prasad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll go to the next part. Yeah. So somebody else can read.
May I read,
Naresh.
Prabhuji?
Yeah. Please read.
One should also avoid association with Mayavadis who simply blaspheme Vaishnavas or devotees. Bhakti kamis who are interested in material happiness, Mukti kamis who desire liberation by merging into existence of the formless absolute, that is Brahman, and Siddhi kamis who desire the perfection of mystic yoga practice are classified as Atyaharis. To associate with such persons is not at all desirable.
Yeah, continue.
Desires to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, merging into existence of Brahman, or attaining whimsical material prosperity are all included within the category of greed.
Yeah, so this
Laulya.
is the sixth one, Laulya. That is explained. Yeah, continue.
All attempts to acquire such material benefits are or so-called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So it's already time, and we have, I think, 2.5 pages remaining. Yeah. So I think I have another class already at 1 o'clock. So what we will do is we'll complete this in the next session. Okay, and then we'll go to the third verse. This was a little longer, and we'll continue in the next session. And if you have any questions, we can take that time. Okay. So we'll pause here.
Prabhuji, tomorrow we have session. It's holiday because tomorrow is Rath Yatra.
No, tomorrow is holiday.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Tomorrow no class. Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Shri Updeshamrikam ki jai. Thank you
Jai.
very much for
Hare
joining and keeping your videos on and giving your 2 hours dedicated time for serving Shri Prabhupada books. Very, very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you.